Greetings, everyone. I'm One Hamster.
And I'm M4.
Indeed. So, I'm wearing a new armor.
You sure are.
Yeah.
It's got a fluffy tail.
Yeah. This is the bone armor. Basically, I'll be showing every armor set in single player.
Right. While they're still, reasonable to make.
Mm-hmm. Actually, the single player armors are very reasonable to make. Well, I should say the normal rank armors are very reasonable to make.
Exactly.
When you get into high rank, then they start becoming unreasonable. Talk about the crust spread again.
Algae jellyfish.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I would prefer the chainmail armor more over the bone armor.
Right.
But I think this armor, it'll basically give me what I need. It's pretty good for capture missions, especially if you're new to capturing.
Right.
But I'm going for dairy and meat because I like my defense buff and health. It's not much health.
For a bow gunner, that's probably wise.
Mm-hmm. I'm just taking a look at things. I figure, well, yeah, just whatever. I didn't notice Defender high, unfortunately.
What a shame.
Yeah, I should have gone for that. But got feline specialist.
Oh boy, feline lander.
Yeah, oh man, all the landing. So, this quest here is a key quest and is required, which is kind of why I'm showing it off. So I decided, you know what? I'm bringing the bowgun. I already did it with a melee weapon. Why not with a gun? Yeah.
Oh, this will probably be interesting.
Yeah. So, Specialist here is the real interesting skill to use because it will increase the effect of my status effects. Yeah.
It's pretty great.
And this bone armor here, I'm actually surprised I didn't really proper show it off or anything, but it has Capture Guru. Basically, if you have a monster paintballed, and the moment he's weakened, your map will start pinging you, like the spot where like the paintballed monster will start blinking on the screen.
Right.
So it'll give you a nice little indicator and help you out, especially if you're not very good at capture missions.
Right. Or if you're hunting something that you can kill really easily.
In this case, something really easily. Some monsters' tells are a lot more subtle and hard to spot, and
Right.
sometimes it's just chance-based if you spot them. So Capture Guru is a very handy skill.
It sure is.
And the reason why this is a required mission is because then they could have the guild sweetheart that just kind of gave you the tutorial on how capture missions work.
Yep. You put the monster in a trap and then you put them to sleep.
In capture missions, they will always give you tranq ammo, tranquilizers, and a trap. So don't waste them.
Yep.
And, I got a nice complement of ammo. So, I get to show off some new things with the ammo. Yeah.
Make good use of that specialist, too.
And, since the subquest is clear small little jaggies, I figured I'd start here. And plus, Great Jaggy came to me. So it all works out.
How thoughtful of him.
Yeah. Came to the party.
He didn't like being left out.
So now I should mention, like, bowgunner armor is very squishy, makes you extremely squishy. It's half defense.
Yep.
But you get double the elemental resistance. But that's not really going to come up very much.
No, it really isn't.
So let's why not start out with a little bit of sleep ammo? I'm going to be showing off a common tactic.
Oh my, yes. It sure is a common tactic.
So what you do with bowguns is you'll sleep the monster with sleep shots, and once you've slept them, you'll place some delicious large barrel bombs on top of them. As you can see, he's asleep. Now, why you want to do this while they're asleep is because, one, they're still, and two, they take extra damage from the first attack. Unfortunately, I think the first attack goes to the small barrel bomb there because I messed up.
Oh well. Still took a lot of damage.
Yeah. I broke his head just right off the bat. And another handy tip for bowgunners, always bring flash bombs. Because while they're flash bombed, they'll just kind of stand there, either taunting or spinning around themselves.
Yep, not much of a threat to someone at a distance.
And since I got specialist, I might as well abuse some poison. Yeah.
Why not?
There we go, poisoned. And, yeah, we can get some paralyzed off on him, too.
Paralyzed.
Paralyzed shots are really great in multiplayer. Not so much in single player because you gotta spend the time getting them paralyzed, which you could have been doing, getting damage in on them.
Right.
I don't find it that useful, but if it's in like multiplayer, yeah, it's pretty good because then you're more like support, if you will.
Uh-huh.
Locking down.
Bowgunners are definitely support.
Well, depends on how they gear up.
Yeah, but in multiplayer, that's pretty much the best thing they can do.
Yeah, they can lock down monsters hard. But unfortunately, he decides to be a big baby and run before he gets paralyzed.
He's had enough. You're really tearing him up.
Yeah. Well, it's not like he's exactly tough. And one thing I should note that I have upgraded the bowgun. The only parts of the bowgun that can be upgraded is the frame. And usually it'll be like level 1, level 2, level 3. It's not like it has upgrade paths.
Right.
So that's kind of one of the things that really gets me annoyed about the arena missions, where they just give you a base bowgun with no upgrades.
Oh boy, they really do not like bowguns in the arena.
No, they don't. Just choose a melee weapon, don't use bowgun. Unless you want to be fighting the same monster for over half an hour.
And since they actually give you rewards based on time, definitely don't use bowgun.
Yeah, usually there'll be like one weapon that can get it under the required time for the extra rewards. But, you know, you get a good view of him being exhausted, and this is a perfect time to use a delicious pellet shot. Kill some monsters.
Yeah.
Those glue hoppers taunting you there on the side.
Oh dear. Don't do it. There's a Jaggy around.
Though, I should point out, the one time that elemental weaknesses will come into play is if you're using bowguns. Since right off the bat you can use elemental ammo. And crag shots that I'm using there is basically little timed bombs that I shoot on monster.
Yeah, they're pretty fun, to say the least.
These will do KO damage, and they will work as sonic bombs. So they have multiple features. Though don't expect to ever KO a monster with crag shots.
Yeah, really. But hey, it's a nice bomb.
But the sonic bomb feature is very nice on them.
Definitely.
That's one of the more useful things. And since he's summoning more buddies, well, might as well get rid of them.
Sounds like a good idea to
Also,
me.
you might notice on the map that he's blinking.
Aha.
The little pink spot, well, which is where he is. Basically, that's your key to go, alright, I should capture him, but I'm not going to just capture him just yet, mainly because I kind of want him to go to the nest, because you know, it's better to be patient and wait until he leaves.
Right. Ooh, a shiny.
And this is what I mentioned. I will be showing off the shinies later. As you see, all large monsters can drop a shiny, but only during certain circumstances. For Great Jaggy, it's running away.
Right.
Other monsters have different ways they drop their shiny, but for the most part, they're fairly easy to get. It's usually a account item, which gives you money in regular hunts, and in free hunt, it'll give you a paltry sum of account points.
Right.
Getting a good use of the butt check there. And I noticed something. I forgot to load trank ammo.
Oh, and you get hunted.
Yeah, I got punted by a not Great Jaggy, but a Jaggia.
Ooh.
And he gets out of the trap the second the trank bomb wears off. But, you know, this is also a good thing because it allows me to demonstrate something else.
Yeah, that's...
So if something goes wrong on a hunt, you can just sort of go back to camp, which I will be demonstrating in a couple seconds. I just kind of want to kill the Jaggy there. Now, subquest rewards will give extra items in your item box.
Uh-huh.
And for capture quests, the extra items will always be subquest reward 1, tranks, and subquest reward 2, a trap.
Yes.
Oh, well, in this case it was the other way around, but...
But, well, one of each.
Mm-hmm. So if you do both subquests, you're not screwed. You actually get another shot at it. Or if you bring your own items, well, then you also have another shot at it.
Well, yes.
And I got the subquest there, but, you know, since I have trank shots, it's not that bad. And this is something a little different. He has already been tranquilized. He hadn't really had time to recover that much from it. So this is what we call pre-trank. Basically, it normally takes 2 trank bombs to take him out, but if they're pre-trank, you just hit them with a tranquilizer before they go into the trap. Then you can get them with 1 tranquilizer, so less can go wrong.
Right.
On top of that, if you're really good at timing it, if he gets hit by the trank bomb seconds before he goes into the trap, he will just immediately fall asleep. It is a little tricky to time and not really worth risking, but if you feel like being fancy, then go for it.
It is pretty funny to watch.
But for capture missions, you don't actually get carves. And as you can see, I found a Silver Crown Great Jaggy from all the farming.
Congratulations.
Yeah. And that's really all there is to capture missions. Not too difficult. If you need a good beginner set for capture missions, the bone armor is pretty decent. You can also create decorations for your armor. It requires you to have 5 slots, but each decoration should give you 2 points of capture guru.
Right.
So, you know, it's not too difficult. And, strange creatures in the woods.
Aren't there always?
Well, it might have been that, pixy that was mentioned earlier.
Ah, pixies don't exist.
Yeah, I know, that's what I said too, but I don't know. Since the guild is treating it like an actual mission, maybe we should, do it. Perhaps it is our urgent.
Perhaps.
Insert question mark here.
Yeah, remove question mark, thanks.
No, it is urgent. I should probably also point out, like, Sunny is the one who told you to check out for like limping signs and whatnot for the mission, not mission, but for capturing.
Right.
And that actually came into play when I went into, I didn't spot it right off the bat, but I'm like, alright.
Hey!
But, you know, I think like he said that when I was handing in the hunt report for the rare commodities. So if people care to look back in the video there you go. But we just kind of explained it in this video, so it really doesn't matter.
Yep.
And apparently I mentioned a shakalaka. Oh, those guys are jerks, placing mines all over the place and throwing sleep bombs. I hate those guys.
And especially the king. Don't mess with the king.
Oh yeah, the king will mess you up.
This might be a harder urgent than we thought.
Yeah, oh no. Just checking out, see if I can find the kids, but you know, I could only find one of them. They keep talking about those pixies. Must be the pixie. Maybe the shakalaka is the pixie.
It's not a very good pixie.
No, that's terrible pixie. I hate shakalakas. Those guys are jerks. For those of you wondering, shakalakas were a critter-type enemy, a small monster-type enemy, if you will, in Freedom Unite. And they were complete assholes.
That's something you could say about a lot of small critters, really.
Yeah, but these guys were especially jerks.
Yeah, especially so. I will not argue.
Yeah. And, yeah, well, got a mission to see what this shakalaka's up to, so hopefully we'll get to murder and maim him. They'll introduce us to a new little critter.
Yeah.
And she's actually giving you a few good tips, and I'm just skipping that terrible pun because we've seen it before.
Oh dear. Yeah, we don't need to see those.
No, they basically give me headaches. Still looking for that kid. Can't find him. But you know what? We should probably take her.
Probably wise.
Or listen to the guild sweetheart instead. She's not my trusty liaison. I don't trust her.
You have no choice.
Yeah, unfortunately. So, yeah, poor kid, you know, like his entire saving. Wonder how much it actually was.
Not much.
And a bit too much. I mean, it was like basically a kid's piggy bank that got broken, and he's like, "No, somebody come check out the pixie." As you can see, she's not taking it very seriously. She's just laughing.
Well, can you really blame her?
Oh, this is kind of rude to just outright laugh. What a dork kid.
Well, she is still having you take the job.
Yeah. But she's essentially just scamming him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I don't like her. She's a horrible person.
It was his idea.
Well, yeah, but she could have been nice and just like, oh, all right, I won't just completely scam you.
She could have not taken all of his money.
Yeah.
That would have been nice.
Yeah. In fact, could have just been, hey, you know, the kid in the village, he wants to. You could use some help. Go talk to him. You know, go help him out. Go into the free hunt and help him. But no. Instead, she took his money. I got a feline blaster. Again.
Oh boy, that's still completely useless.
Yeah, unfortunately. Shakalaka Savior. Wait a moment. That's not what I signed up for. I wanted to
Not
kill
at
him.
all.
Also, he has 60 zennies as his entire life saving.
Well, he needs a better allowance.
Yeah. That's,
Or maybe
well,
he should just stop spending it all.
yeah, I'd imagine he's probably spent some of it on... What would a kid spend them on? Whetstones? No.
Candy, of course.
Well, I don't think they have candy.
Potions, they're delicious.
Well, yeah, but only if you're hurt. I mean, I guess Monster Guts is candy in Monster Hunter, but
That's
that's a
like
little pricey.
I was gonna say, it's like a high-tier delicacy.
Yeah. Well, technically it is, I guess.
I mean, they probably have some,
Yeah.
you know, candy and sort of thing that you don't really see, because why would
Yeah.
you need it?
Oh, because, world building. But
Yeah.
Capcom's not too big on world building, unfortunately.
Not so much, no.
That's kind of why I want to know a little bit more of the background story of who these runes belong to and all that sort of thing, which they don't really, explain. They just like, oh, here's a map. We'll put a cool ruin here.
They belong to people.
They belong to people. Well, the only real explanation is probably just monsters wrecked the place.
Older dragons.
You. Get him, Jagia. Get him.
Not so sure why they tried to have you actually.
And unfortunately, I have to protect the Shakalaka.
Not so sure why they decided this was a good idea, but oh well.
Yeah. I don't know. It's an easier mission. I should also mention that this is the only time you can ever do this urgent. Once it's done, well, unless you start a new game, you can never do it again.
Right, it's not like the other ones that'll show up in the next rank.
Yeah, this is the only quest that does this, and that is because they're introducing the Shakalaka, who is not our enemy in this game. And
But he's kind of retarded.
yeah, he'll have you running around for a bit, much to my dismay. Which is kind of why I just waited there to get a couple carves while I was waiting for him to ping me on the map.
Yep.
Don't worry too much about his health, though. It does regenerate. Just don't let him reach 0, which is fairly easy to do. Well, not him dying.
He's got quite a bit.
Yeah, he has a lot of health, so you shouldn't worry about him dying. You can usually take out things fairly fast. Not to mention he has lots of invisibility frames every time he gets hit.
Pretty much, yeah.
So as you can see, they've been wailing on like crazy, but because of his massive amount of invisibility frames, invincibility frames, he's fine. He's fine.
Also, he keeps claiming to be a pacifist, which is a blatant lie.
It is a blatant lie unless you do something special.
I mean, he's a Shakalaka. Come on.
Yeah, he's a Shakalaka. They're all jerks. Nobody likes them. That's why they wear masks, because nobody likes looking at their ugly face. Actually, an interesting thing. There is actually a face modeled under the mask, but it's not what you might think. It's like a sort of thin black stalk with yellow eyes that kind of look like Black Mage eyes. They kind of basically did the Black Mage thing, only they were like, we're just gonna model like a stick of sorts underneath with eyes painted on.
That's incredibly creepy.
Yeah, they're basically being lazy, and so people,
yeah, it's probably just meant to be a placeholder.
Yeah,
that you don't really see.
Yeah, it's basically so you can see the eyes.
Right.
But yeah, no, it looks awfully silly.
It sounds awfully silly.
If that's actually how their faces look, I would also wear a mask.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh man, tag teamed him. I butt checked him, and the Shakalaka smacked him. He died.
There you go.
Yeah.
Teamwork.
And
What do you do in your camp? Monsters aren't allowed in camp.
I wish he was a monster so I could kill him.
Yeah.
I hate Shakalakas. I don't care about you white knights out there. I want my cats. Okay? It's a little bit of a spoiler there, but I'm just gonna kick him. He deserved it. Shakalaka abuse.
Oh dear. If only you could do worse.
If only. If only. I would. But, you know, this is basically gonna be your buddy throughout the game. This is kind of why they gave him a mission for himself. You know, to introduce you to, here's a story event that happens, and now he's gonna be your buddy. And he can do
he's
stuff.
going to be a jerk about it.
Yeah, he actually is.
Nobody likes Cha-Cha.
Yeah, I want my cats back. In Freedom Unite, you had feline, mercenary sorts of things that you could customize.
They were better.
Much better. I could customize them to however the hell I wanted to right off the bat. And it was wonderful that way. Also, the cats never talked, so...
That was a plus.
Yeah, that was a plus. wish there was like a function to turn Shakalaka's speeches off. Basically, in-game, he will spam you with messages. You don't have time to look at them, but while you're hunting, so, you know, you'll just get spammed by a text box opening up in the corner of your screen all the time. It's kind of like one of the downsides to it. People will be seeing a lot of that. But as you can see, the village is pretty much taking the kid in, the Shakalaka kid, and yeah. They're allowing him to stay there.
The chief kind of throws you under the bus there.
Yeah. I would like, if it were up to me, I'd just kick him out. Say tough luck. Also, a little foreshadowing about Kuropeko.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So, I guess we can probably look forward to fighting one of these soon enough.
Probably.
Mm-hmm. Here's a hint, I do poorly. I've already recorded it. So look forward to that.
That's not at all. That's just, you know, how it works.
Yeah, whenever I'm recording, everything goes bad.
Yep.
But, you know, I do like that the village, the village people will give you hints and stuff, so it's good for new players.
Yeah.
Though I doubt, like, new players will take the time to read it. And you're going to be seeing lots and lots of horrible things that he's going to call you.
Yep. He is not nice at all.
Yeah, he really is a jerk. Bossy one, too. So they explained the reason why Shakalakas actually have the masks, which was kind of actually a nice explanation. I did enjoy that. So he's on his sort of a adulthood ritual where he has to wander out and get his own mask.
Mm-hmm.
Well, basically, get an idea for a mask and make one, and then that's just sort of what they do.
Right.
Only he's lost. He has no idea where he is, or how he got
here. What else is... Oh, yes, because he's a cha-cha. That's the only real reason you need.
Yep. And now he's being bossy and telling me, oh man, I have to be his minion, but in reality he's my bitch.
Pretty much.
I'll go into the customization with him later. I'll show that off in a different video.
Right.
On the other hand, it's perfect timing that the Argosy trader came back.
Yeah.
Because I just got bumped up another rank, that means he'll have new stuff.
Stuff is good.
And on top of that, as he's mentioned, we can send him to a new place.
That's where the new stuff comes from.
Mm-hmm. So, basically, the more places I have him go on or over to, the longer time it'll take for him to get back.
Yep. But it gives him more variety.
Mm-hmm. But it's usually not really... It's not really a problem, because it just gives you more time to stock up.
Yeah, he doesn't really take that long to come back.
No, you could just actually just go out and free hunt, wait 5 minutes, come back in and sleep, and then just do it over and over again.
Uh-huh.
But basically what he will have available to go into the hunter's area is some dances, which is for cha-cha, and basically some tools and stuff that will help you out with hunting.
Yeah.
It's actually a pretty good place to send him to.
Can't complain.
It's a pretty easy way to get thunderbugs as well. Pretty much the main use of commodity items.
Oh.
Easy thunderbugs.
Always need more thunderbugs.
Yeah, he is a little dim-witted. I wouldn't have noticed. I'm starting to get the feeling that maybe they just kicked him out.
Everyone keeps trying to shove him off on you.
Yeah, it's like they don't want him, but they'll let him in because they don't want to be assholes and going like, no. In fact, they should just be assholes and say, no, we're just keeping him out. Luckily for the Monster Hunter purists out there, as always, if you don't want your allies, you could just keep them in town and never really use them.
Right. The only real benefit to bringing him around is he's another target.
Yeah, he's another target, which is why I'm saying the Monster Hunter purists, because there are people who like, it's too easy to have an extra target. I want to have the monster up in my grill all the time, which is fair
Well,
enough.
there you go. Yeah,
But for
it's perfectly valid.
But for a new player, it's definitely useful to have like that extra target for the big monster to chase around.
Right.
Also, his whole spiel about the honey, yeah. The slim fat diet is going to become a thing. As
it's
in,
pretty great.
as you upgrade the honey farm, it's gonna become a thing.
Oh, people are silly.
Yeah. Well, nobles need to be fat, I guess, because that's the fashion.
Yo!
Excuse you. But, most of the video here is just going to be talking to village people, that sort of stuff.
Right.
And, I don't believe I showed it off, but, pun lady.
No.
But she's actually giving you good advice, even though you get some bad puns.
Straight off.
But yeah, she actually gives you a few hints onto how Kuropeko works, what he does. But as I was about to mention, at this point of the game, you do have access to your first switch axe. But because I'm going to be using the switch axe so much in multiplayer, in fact, that's all I'm going to be using, I do not show it off in single player because you're going to get enough of it in multiplayer. It's probably a wise decision so I can show off other weapons.
Yeah, I would say so.
And more importantly, the gal with the goods she has more goods.
Yay.
She actually has some very useful things.
Organizer guide is always nice.
More
If
items in
you'll
my
never
item
fill up
box.
that box.
And comic book 3. On top of that, I can trade for I believe I can trade for a comic book 4 at this point, so I can, and more ammo. Wyvern's fire ammo, you're so useless.
You really are, yes.
They should have just brought the gun lance back. I'm telling you.
Oh well.
Now not gun lances, but bow guns get to be a pretend gun lance.
They don't do it very well.
No, they don't. The cudgel onion.
Oh, joy.
People used them to hunt back in the days.
That should have been a joke weapon. It would have been great.
Yeah, it actually would have been great. I wouldn't have minded this if I saw some of the feline joke weapons in this game. They're pretty great themselves. The sword and shield, which was a giant knife and fork. That was pretty amazing. But, just taking my time to talk to people. Should be about done, so let's get the Guild Sweetheart out of the way. And maybe take a look at what we got in 3-star.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Actual proper quests again for once.
I think she's being a little dramatic, but yes, we get access to a new area of the Flooded Forest, which we'll be seeing later.
Sounds exciting. And wet.
It's a pretty neat spot, since there are items you can only get there. Don't forget to bring your towel. And, as the villagers have mentioned, there's a new monster, Kuropeko. But we don't have access to too much just yet. We've got access to a few things.
Yeah.
But we'll get more into that when we start 3-star missions. For now, I think Ghost Lady has earned a rest, so we'll all see you next time.
Have fun.